Namaste, Hare Krishna. Welcome to our live stream on Festival of Bharat. We invite you to take part with us in this journey. I am discussing today a message for the people of India. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. It is a duty of mankind to become familiar with the goal of life. Many nations are planning for the future. They want to expand their economies. They want to improve the living conditions of their citizens. They want to protect the nation from any attacking forces. And this is not unique to India alone. It is a concern of every nation state. Today, though, I want us to take a look at India specifically, that it is the land where the greatest revelations have been given to mankind in the form of the Vedic knowledge. And the Vedic knowledge is aimed at uplifting everyone. Krishna told Arjuna that Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraiguna Bhavajuna, that the Veda is full of so many flowery languages promising results like Swarga, like enjoying in those types of heavenly planets. But Arjuna was being warned that you should rise above whatever is promising you something within the material world. Therefore, moksha should be at the forefront of the minds of persons who understand real knowledge. Moksha means liberation, to become free from the conditions of this material world. What are these conditions? We are all affected by birth, death, old age, and disease because we've accepted this material body. So it comes with the package. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says that Janma Mritu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Dosha Anudashana. That real knowledge consists of the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease. One should question themselves, why must I go through death? Why must I suffer diseases? Why should I battle old age? And why have I taken birth? Only to be confronted with the complexities of this material world. When such inquiries arise in the mind of a living entity, he is considered to be civilized. He or she has become an actual human. The animals, they don't ask such questions. Therefore, human life is the platform of inquiring into Brahman. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. If we don't inquire into the spiritual reality, we are no better than two-legged animals, Dvipashu. And animals are concerned with the simple things of eating. Where will I sleep? Where will I find my mate? And how can I defend my territory? These are the concerns of the animals. And so we must look at ourselves. Are these my primary concerns? Am I waking up early, getting into the traffic, rushing to the job, simply to deal with food problems, mating problems, defense problems, and sleeping problems? Or do I have a higher objective in life? So the challenge is for us to rise to the human platform, Tato Brahma Jigyasa, to inquire about the spiritual reality. It is said by one wonderful Acharya in the Srimad Bhagavatam. His name is Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj says, in a sorrowful heart, he is saying, Nate vidu swata gatim hi Vishnu, durashaya ye by atamanina. Yadadanta, that those who are by atamanina, who are looking at the external environment for their happiness. Why? Nate vidu swata gatim hi Vishnu. They don't know that their real self-interest or the goal of life lies with Vishnu. They simply look around in the material world for the treasure of life. But unfortunately, this is happening because they are following Andaya Tandai Upaniyamanas Tepisa Tantram Uru Padadamni. They are following blind teachers, blind leaders. And so a blind leader is only interested in encouraging people on the external platform of this material world, of the senses. And such blind leaders, they canvass and they get many votes from similarly blind people. And they become leaders of society. They become gurus in society. They become teachers in schools, politicians. But we know if a blind person leads other blind people, that it only spells danger. It only spells calamity. So we have to avoid this. How? By looking closely at the Vedic knowledge. The Vedic knowledge spells out in the Gita that one must approach a spiritual master, a guru, and inquire submissively. Upon such inquiry, one should be ready to render service, and the self-realized souls, they can impart the truth unto such a person. It is not that everyone who has a long beard, or who wears saffron cloth, or who can sit in lotus position for hours is a qualified man or woman to understand the goal of life. Some individuals are endowed with mystic powers that they can mesmerize others by manifesting objects, by reading their minds, by being smaller than the smallest. It is mentioned these mystic powers, Lagima, Anima, Prakamya. These are material mystic powers. I tell you a story. One old man who had some real insight, he revealed this. In his village, a young man lived, and one day he announced, I'm going away to the Himalayas, I'm going to perform tapasya, austerities. And therefore he left. And after many years, he returned. And everyone in the village was speaking, oh, he has come back, he has come back. Oh, he has become a yogi, mystic yogi. And he will be performing one of his mystic miracles. What will he do? Oh, he will be able to walk on water. So people gathered to see this. And so one old man asked, so all these years, he has only learned something which is worth 2 paisa. And everyone was saying, oh, why are you so envious of him? The old man said, well, for 2 paisa, I can pay the boatman and he can take me across the river. And this young man, all these years, all he can do is walk across the same river, which for 2 paisa I can also cross. So this old man was able to see things as they are. The value of this mystic power is simply 2 paisa, because even by other material means one can cross over water. So much energy, so much time to develop some power that is achievable 2 paisa worth. So this is to warn us that there are so many things within this material world which we can aim to achieve. And this is not a fault to be ambitious to do things that will benefit others. Savyasaci to let everyone become happy. So from the Shastras we understand that one can be happy when they follow dharma. And when they follow dharma, then they know how to deal with artha. When they know how to deal with economics, then they know how to deal with their senses. But without those who have seen the truth, who understand the spiritual essence of life, then everyone becomes misled to be bhai-atamanina, to think that the true wealth of life is in material life. So it is said, Nata parataro loke pumsa swatya vyati krama, that there is no stronger obstacle, no greater obstacle to one's real self-interest than to think other subject matters to be more interesting than one's own self-realization. If we think there is something better than our own liberation, we are attracted to other topics. We are giving our time and energy to other endeavors, and we are not attracted to our own liberation, our own self-realization, our own relationship with Krishna. Then who can help us? You can take the horse to the river, but you cannot force it to drink. India is the ocean of Vedic knowledge. And Bhagavad Gita is known by everyone. Lord Ramachandra is known by everyone. But the Sanatan Dharma is not taken up by everyone. I should look at myself. Am I just a friend of Sanatan Dharma? Am I a practitioner of Sanatan Dharma? Or I am simply on the lip service platform, just rubber stamping myself. So it is important to become serious about one's liberation. And that is the call to the people of the beautiful land of India, is to take up sadhana every day, just as we eat every day and take a bath every day. Then also we have to feed the soul. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. We have to hear Shravanam. We gain experience by hearing, and we must hear from the right person. The right person is one who himself has heard from his guru in parampara, disciplic succession, and one who is applying the teachings of the Lord. Such a soul can give the right conclusion. Nowadays, the internet is full of many people who speak what they think. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, one of the great sons of the Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, he said, if you're going to say, I think, then please go and finish your sentence in a cupboard. Because the culture is that we have to speak words which are upheld by the Shastras. We cannot speak our own speculation, because Om Agyana Timirandasya, we are born in Agyana, in ignorance. And the Guru opens our eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. Therefore, that knowledge is what has been given in the many disciplic lines that are there within the culture of Sanatan Dharma. The race, the rat race, the disgrace of the human race that's involved in a rat race has to be stopped by returning to Shravanam, hearing from the bona fide spiritual people. Materialism is very attractive and very shiny. We are all attracted to the glitter of this material world. But we should understand that this material world is the energy of Bhagavan, the energy of Krishna. It should not be exploited for personal gratification. Because the more we think we're exploiting and we are conquering nature, is the more we are becoming entangled in her complexities. Krishna has said that Daiviyesha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Mayamaitam Tarantite. This energy made of the gunas, this Bhumi, Apo, Vayu, Kam, Mano, Buddhi, earth, water, fire, air, ether, these are my separate material energies. But Daiviyesha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya, my Maya, my energy is very difficult to overcome. Duratyaya. It's difficult. We know that. Just look into your own life. How many difficulties are there in your life? In the life of your neighbor, your children, what to speak in the lives of the people in the country. There are so many dynamics that cause friction amongst people, amongst tribes, amongst nations. So Mama Maya Duratyaya, Krishna is honest, my energy is very difficult to overcome. But Mameva Ye Prapadyante, if one surrenders unto me, here's my message, Shravanam, by the ear we gain experience. And who is the most knowledgeable person? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Param Brahma, Param Dharma, Pavitram, the Supreme Pure, the Supreme Abode. If we hear from Krishna, Machita Sava Durgani, he says, by my grace, if you hear me, I remove all the obstacles of material existence. You will get over them. But if you don't hear me, then you will be lost because you'll be following your own false ego. So Shravanam, Bhagavad Gita is very important scripture. It is Gita Upanishad. There is 108 Upanishads. And the essence of these Upanishads is the Gita Upanishad. And we know how Arjuna is like the calf who's milking the cow of the Vedic literature. And so we should understand Krishna's message in the Bhagavad Gita as Arjuna understood it. How did Arjuna understand Krishna? He said, now I am a soul surrendered unto you. He only wanted to execute the will of Krishna. So the scriptures are the guiding light that will light up the darkness of the heart, the ignorance, which makes us externally facing, which makes us unaware of our own self-interest, which makes us follow the blind leaders. Western society or the globalist worldview, which puts money and profit at the head of society, is the blind regime. The minds have become colonized by this idea of success. So, beloved people of India, beloved people of the world, if we have accepted the idea of success, which is the consumer culture, the blind atheistic culture, it is like someone who gets on a train which is going east, and then realizes while they're on the train that they should be going west. We have access to Bhagavad Gita. We have access to Srimad Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata. We have access to the Dharma Shastras. And if we don't take that and we take that paradigm, then we are already on a train which is going in the wrong direction. And if we start to run in the train towards the east or to the west, and the train is going eastward, it doesn't solve the problem. So our duty is to investigate closely. What are my values? What do I consider the success of my life? Is it just the accumulation of money? Is it just to acquire material reputation? Is it to become better than other nations, other people? Or is it to become closer to the spiritual essence of life? In that way, we don't ride on the wrong train and head in the wrong direction, because the knowledge of heading to the world of light has been given. Therefore, throughout Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving us instructions, guidance. Yashastra vidim ustrija, vatate kama karata, nasasidim avapnoti, nasukam naparam gatim. That if one gives up whimsically the instructions of the scriptures, I don't read Bhagavad Gita, I don't read Srimad Bhagavatam, I don't read Ramayana, and then I speculate how I will live my life, or I follow the one-eyed guru, the tele-lie vision. I follow my internet gurus who are saying yes to this, yes to that, are not quoting the divine words of the Lord, Bhagavan. Then what will happen? Nasasidim, I will not get perfection of life. Nasukam, I will not become happy. Na param gatim, what to speak of attaining the supreme divine abode, Vaikunta, Goloka Vrindavan. There will be no liberation. Instead, I become more and more tied by the gunas, the modes of nature. And I am implicated in the cycle of samsara. So human life is a great opportunity. We must take this opportunity as a serious and valuable opportunity to solve all the problems of material existence. I began by saying our problems begin with the fact that we've accepted this material body. Good fortune is to realize I've accepted a material body and I have accepted a birth through knowledge. When I hear spiritual knowledge, I am being born again from the animal platform to the human platform. And that is the chance that we all have who have access to the culture of Sanatana Dharma. So my message to all of us, I'm speaking to you, but I'm also speaking to myself. We should use this very short time that we have in the human form to cultivate self-realization, to cultivate bhakti, love, to cultivate yoga, a connection with the Supreme Lord. That is the only true wealth. Death can never take away one's advancement on the path of bhakti. Krishna says that one who is on this path, there is no loss or diminution. Whatever endeavor that is performed with the aim of pleasing the Lord, it will never be taken away. So it is not a very mystical process. It is a simple process. We have a home. It is called Vaikunta, the place of no miseries, no suffering. We are currently in Durga Dham, the place of difficulties. And we have to aim at going back home. And there is Bhakta, there is Bhagavan. And how Bhakta and Bhagavan interact, this is called bhakti. And bhakti is the spirit of serving Bhagavan with your words, your body, your mind, your resources. And so this culture of seva is what India can give to the world. And therefore, I beg all those who hear this that spare the time to read Bhagavad Gita and to become like Arjuna, who surrendered to Krishna and used his qualifications as a soldier to fight the war at Kurukshetra, so that the son of Dharmaraj, Yudhishthira, who is an ambassador of Krishna, could become king. And by installing Yudhishthira on the throne, then we understand that the head of society, the Brahmanas, the Vaishnavas, they are Brahma, Janatiti, Brahmana. They are focused on Brahman, the spiritual essence. They know where to take us. Therefore, society doesn't become like a headless chicken, which is running, but it cannot find any solution because the head is already cut off. So when there is no Brahma Tattva, Brahma Jigyasa, when there is no inquiry into the absolute, then whatever people, nations, families may think they are achieving, it will only be wiped away by the strong current of time. I appreciate you spending time and hearing Shravanam. Therefore, try to Kirtanam, repeat this to your friends and your family members. Make sure that you subscribe to this beautiful channel and you give the videos a like, and join us again when we have our next live stream. Hare Krishna.